Hey guys, this is HaHaBear here. Today I have one of those different videos than usual. Today we're going to be unboxing the new OSU tablet, also known as OSU Tablet 2016. This one is a bit of a different one than my usual ones because I've owned G430 and G540 by XP Pen Technology. I've owned CTL 480 by Wacom, and that's it. I never actually had a Huion tablet for OSU like ever, so this is the first time I ever had a Huion product, and I'm pretty stoked to find out how it will work out. So before we get into that, this tablet is a little bit of a different one than the predecessor, which is the original OSU tablet. The original OSU tablet is supposed to be pink. It has a pen with the battery inside it, so the weight is kind of a big factor, and that's why a lot of people were kind of complaining, like, why would you put a pen that requires a battery for OSU based tablet stuff, yada yada, and then people kind of complained about that. So now they released this new product of OSU tablet where it doesn't require battery. Now the pen is rechargeable, and also it is now black instead of pink, so it looks sexier, my opinion. So that's a good thing for me. Before we actually do the tablet unboxing, let's quickly go over the product itself. So this is what the tablet is based off of. It's an Huion 420, not H420. It's the Huion 420. H420 has buttons on the left side here, as you can see on the Amazon product, but this one doesn't have any buttons as far as I know. So it's just the Huion 420 tablet. And this is the OSU store where they sell the official tablet 2016. You can click the link right here, and it will redirect you to the store. So the description says it's a pen tablet with an OSU touch. Oh, I didn't know the highlight makes it pink. That's pretty cool. Perfect size for standard gameplay. And the specs are here. It's $35. The reading height is 1 centimeter, so that's, I think, the exact same thing as like a G430, G540, CTL 480. Pressure sensitivity, polling rate, report rate also called. It's the same thing as G430, G540. The active area is a little bit different though. Instead of a 4 by 3 or 5 by 4, it's actually a 4 by 2.3. So I believe it's gonna be a little bit more of a like rectangular size, more stretched out lengthwise than it being like fatter in terms of width. So yeah, that's basically it, and it should be pretty light also. So that's the product description. And now we get to the tablet. So this is the OSU tablet 2016. But before we get into it, actually, the product came in kind of like dented here, so they could have actually done a better job of packaging this. Let's just get that aside. I just wanted to complain a little bit. So this is the pen. We'll get into it later. This, I believe, is the nibs and the nib remover. Not sure if you can see it here. There we go. Okay. And this is the tablet itself. So yeah, that's basically it. It's first time I ever held a Huion product before. It has that OSU logo here, and that's basically it. There's really nothing much to it. The edges are kind of sharp here on this side. I could actually like scrape myself from that, so maybe they could kind of like trim that side. I don't know. Okay, so this I believe is the connector. Yep, looks like it. I have no idea what this is. It looks like one of those like really old charging cable, but for like, I'm not sure if you guys even remember, like for GBA and stuff like that, but actually GBA only had batteries, but later versions it has some kind of like charging required, and it looks really simple, like this actually. So it reminded me of that. And also tablet, once again, thank you for the support. Designed to work with most computers, setting up also tablet is as easy as plugging in the USB cable. For more information, you can go to this thing. Okay. Oh, bummer, they didn't include the sticker. Wow. Peppy, how could you do that? So for OSU tablet, for OSU keyboard and stuff like that, they included the sticker, like the logo sticker they had. It was like a really nice touch to it, but then they didn't have that for this one. So that's kind of one thing that I wanted to point out. That's basically it. So let's get back to the tablet. Not really much to see because it's basically a tablet. So the connector is on the left side, unlike G430, which is on this side, and G540, which is on this side, and CTL480, which is also on the left side. It comes out like this, CTL480, and this one is basically on the side like this, which is really I have no idea why they would do that, because you usually put the, let's say this is your keyboard, and you would usually put the tablet like right next to it here, so wouldn't the connector kind of get in the way of it? I don't know, that's my skepticism number one there. It has the rubber feet, so it should probably stay nice and immobile on the table when you place on there. And it has the four corners arced on the corner here, so that's the active area. Once again, it's a lot more longer on the length than on the width, as opposed to other tablets that I've used so far. And yeah, that's basically it. So now let's get to the tablet pen actually, which is probably the most important thing. Please don't unscrew. Whoa, okay, that's like a really big thing, because I'm not sure if you can read it. It says please don't unscrew. Please take off the pen cap before using. I have no idea why they don't want us to unscrew the tablet pen, because I've basically like played around with the tablet pen of CTL 480 and G430. I actually have it right here. So this is a 430 pen. It kind of like the button stopped working because of me like fooling around with it. So I like opened it up and then like closed it multiple times. So it kind of like opens like that, and it just opens like this. CTL 480 is a little bit of a different story. You actually have to twist like this side over here to actually, this I never opened before. I opened the 480 original pen. This is like the replacement pen, so I probably shouldn't really touch this and mess it up. But yeah, so for this tablet pen, apparently I'm not supposed to unscrew it. Okay, so this is a cap. That's pretty cool. They have this cap here. That's a nice touch, I guess. Helion, and apparently it looks like this is where you're supposed to plug in the there's like a hole here. This is where you're supposed to plug in the charger. So it goes in like this, like that. Yeah, looks like it. I guess that's how you're supposed to charge it. I'm not exactly too sure how you're supposed to know if the pen is fully charged or not, but maybe there's like a LED indicator. We'll see though. So yeah, and pen is like uh much thicker than the other two. Might as well just leave it up here because I want to compare these. So this is the 480 pen. This is a 430/540 pen, and this is the also tablet pen. So yeah, so we have the big three. I think that's like these three are like the most commonly used tablets for OSU. So yeah, and if I were to do a little bit of a test, so CTL 480 is kind of balanced towards the backside, like this area over here, a little bit towards the right side of the middle. XP pen is more towards like the front side, like closer to the pen tip side. And Helion is like kind of somewhere in the middle, but also towards the tip side a little bit. So I'm mentioning this because it actually gives you a little bit of a different feel if you're using the pen. CTL 480 you can kind of grab like longer and it will feel more stable, and other pens, if that's like more centered, like if the weight is centered towards the pen tip a little bit more, then it should be a little bit easier for you to control if you're holding it more short, if you're holding a more short grip. And this should be like somewhere in between the two, I think. But yeah, it feels pretty big and clunky, but that's probably because like these other two pens are really sleek, so I really don't know how it will actually turn out when I play with the pen. And play the game on Osu with it. So before I sign off and then go test the tablet out, I actually wanted to test something really quickly. Like the pen button feels nice and standard. The button on the tip, it should be like, it's very similar to the G430/540 pen. It pushes in, there's like this springy feeling. CTO480 on the other hand doesn't have the springy feeling. It's like little tap. It's really tappy, and then it registers right away, which is like the best thing about this pen if you are to use it for X-Tap or TapX more like. So people who are using TapX are going to want their pen tip to be more responsive than springy. So if you're buying tablet for that purpose, then you want to really consider that. And then I would have to recommend you buying this CTO480, although the price is really high up now, so I don't really recommend that path, but you could probably find something online and find an alternative, maybe like eBay or something like that. Anyways, so that was the pen and the unboxing of the Osu tablet. So now I'll go off and test out the tablet. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, before we get into the tablet itself, I just wanted to show you the driver. It just basically tells you like what the button does. Second button makes the right key, and then first one is like a keyboard key. Okay, it makes sense. And now we get to do the pressure and then also the advanced settings. Now this is where we get to, kind of fiddle around with our settings. So if I apply this, and then it's going to kind of change the tablet area. I'm going to use the full area for now because my usual area of tablet usage is basically like the largest you can on the device and keep the area of the Osu resolution to be 1360 by 768. So I'm going to leave it as that. Hey guys, I plugged in my tablet and I'm ready to use this for Osu gameplay, and before we get into that, I just wanted to point out some complaints actually. So it was a little bit of a different tablet than my usual other tablets that I use, which is CTL480, G430, and G540. What I wanted to point out was that I had to actually remove my mouse pad. I usually put the tablet on top of my mouse pad, and it would usually be okay. It would just kind of stay around there, slide around just very slightly by intense movements, but most of the time it will stay there. This tablet is actually very slippery. It does have the 4 rubber feet like on the corners here, like over here on these like 4 corners, but then what happens is like, sure, my desk might be a little bit slippery, but it should still, kind of keep the tablet in place. But when I try to kind of move around my fingers, my hand movement would actually kind of like alter the tablet's position. Like it would actually slide it around, and that wasn't a problem for other tablets like CTL480 and G540 and 430. So that's something that I have to point out. Is if you're using this tablet and if your hand kind of drags along the surface of the tablet like I do, like if it kind of sits around like this, and then if your pinky kind of touches it and then moves the tablet around, and then you might want to actually consider getting like a tape, and you can kind of like tape the corners like some players do so that it can secure the tablet. I don't know, maybe you could do that. Maybe that's like an option you can take. And also what I wanted to point out is like when I press down the corners of the tablet, it actually like moves slightly up and down. So that's just like minor error in build quality in my opinion, but that's basically it about the problem of the tablet. But I just wanted to point that out because it was different from what I've experienced so far with other tablets. Okay. Tablet works fine. Okay. Going back to my initial complaint, this tablet actually does move around quite a bit. Initially, what I tried to do was I did my usual playstyle of keeping my pinky on the tablet and just like kind of anchoring around, and that would move the tablet way too much. So I kind of like let my pinky set aside, and then just kind of like hover my entire hand and fingers, like not touching the tablet, and then it worked fine. So you might actually want to consider changing your playstyle if you're using this tablet, or if it's your first time, then you can kind of adjust it that way. It's not like one playstyle is always better than the other, so you can always adjust accordingly. Also, if you do insist playing like I do all the time, then you can definitely put like tapes on the corners and to secure the tablet. But one big complaint once again is that this tablet is not secure on the tablet. It moves around quite a bit. So these rubber feet on the bottom that you see here are not very secure. So that's what I really wanted to complain about this tablet. Other than that, the tablet actually feels okay. The tablet itself is really nice and sleek, nice and compact too. The pen feels nice too. This nice rubbery grip I really like about it too. Um, the weight is like actually is almost as heavy as any other pen. It's bigger, but it doesn't always necessarily mean that it's gonna be heavier. Yeah, so that's basically it. Thank you for listening and watching this video. If you have any questions, please leave the comment down below, and then I will answer whatever questions you might have. Take care, guys. Bye bye.